All right, so the bearings are in. This one's new, this one's used. So let's put this thing back together. As I go along, I'm going to add some gear oil to everything just so it starts out lubricated. All right, see if I can remember how to do this. What I'm going to do is sort of take a dry run and put this together off the tractor, just to make sure everything is good. So these bolts here will just be temporary, just to mock it up. All right, she's assembled. Look how nice that spins now with the new bearing. Spins, locks, spins, locks. And I'm just fitting everything up dry. I'm not using any sealant, mainly because, I'll probably be doing this job again when I get a replacement shaft for it. Looks like it's working well. Everything's nice and loose. So this part from this flange here to here is the part that's going to be inside the belly of the tractor. These holes here, this one and This one looks like somebody might have hogged that one out even larger. But those are supposed to be installed on the tractor in such a manner that one of these are on the bottom. If it's mounted so this is sideways, it's not going to recirculate the oil as well. So that's an important thing to remember. So I'll just need to get the cotter pin on the nut over here. I'm not sure about these gaskets. I think I will use one for sure in between the two flanges like I have here, and then I'll probably put one on this side as well between this and the belly of the tractor. Seems logical. We'll see what happens with that. And I made a couple more. I think when I get this mounted on the tractor, installed and running, when this starts to spin, hit this with some maybe some Scotch-Brite, something like that. As it's spinning, just sort of hold it against it, and it should clean all this extra gunk off the surface without damaging the material. Well, all things considered, doesn't look too bad. And this guy here will go on the parts shelf. Let's take a look in here. As you all know, I'm not a professional mechanic, but I look for the obvious: broken teeth, cracks. I don't see any of that. I hope I look this good at 100 years old. Well, I thought at first this was a crack in the housing, but the more I look at it, it looks like it was cast that way. And I bet it was cast that way, so you can get the gear in there. We'll see when I put it on, but that might be a little opening where you can sort of cant it as you're putting it in. Oh, there's another one up here. All right, I've got my gaskets on. I think I'm ready to go, but I'm going to put all the bolts, except for the bolt that goes through the clamp for the exhaust. We'll do that one last, and it's a little bit larger too. The head of it is larger. But the other 5, I'm going to get started all the way around, so as I'm trying to put this thing on, it's not going to fall apart on me. I think I've got the biggest hole aligned with what's going to be the bottom, so the oil will drain back out. So I didn't like the orientation of the clutch handle. It was leaning too far forward, so I'm going to rotate it 1 hole to the left. I know they say there's supposed to be a certain amount of backlash in there, and I'm no expert, but it seems to be okay. All right, good enough. I did put some new grease on the hub. Now that I know how to remove these wheels, it's not all that difficult. It's cumbersome for sure, heavy. Relubing those hubs and checking the seal and everything else will not be that big of a deal, so we'll save that for another time. All right, a couple things before I wrap up. This is why you need to take off the rear wheel. This gap right here and here, that's what, 1.5 inches. So removing the rear wheel is completely necessary. The handle up here is tucked in close to the clutch pedal lever. But right here, this is all the way disengaged, and it looks like it's hitting the pedal, but it isn't. There's a better angle at it. See, that's all the way disengaged, will not go any farther. Also, good engineering. And then all the way engaged, of course, it doesn't matter. It's all the way over here, and I give them an A for engineering. So, I'm gonna wrap this up. Next video will be running and testing the pulley, so I'm looking forward to that myself.